Good morning traders, Joseph here from Eightcap. Welcome to this week's Asian session update and outlook. And just before we get started, just make sure that if you haven't already, if you are interested in our analysis, please subscribe so you can keep up to date with everything that's coming out. And we have fantastic guest analysts during the week who present, and the information that they're putting out lately is fantastic. So yeah, if you are enjoying the content and if you want to see more and don't want to miss anything, definitely subscribe, because we are having some live videos during the week. So we will just get started. We're looking at just a couple of the more less followed indexes, so to speak. I hate to say that if they are your favorite indexes, but for instance, we're looking at the Hong Kong 50 at the moment. Now, it wasn't too long ago the Hong Kong 50 looked like it was the Hang Seng, which is the market this CFD tracks. Looked like it was really down and out, and we can see over the period that it's had some fantastic recovery, and we are seeing a really nice V here. I do look at V reversals. There was a trading system that you may or may not have heard of. It was called floor trader method. It was just a basic retracement system. It did work off this principle of a V, and we can see a really good example here with that V shape just here, and we had that pullback, and we've had that confirmation with another very strong rally. So we are seeing this across a few of those markets. We did cover the CAC or the France 40 on Friday's report, and we can see here that it's continued to really excel, and with the buying going on, we can see a break here of the August high, and it's on a few markets to sort of reach that peak and break it at the moment. So it's really fantastic, and it's really outperformed a lot of the other indexes. So you definitely, I'm not trying to tell you what to trade or what not to trade, but it's one of those things where you got to keep your eyes open and just look around at what else is happening. If you can become tunnel visioned. I get the same issue where I'm just totally tuned into some of the key indexes, but some of the other indexes that you may not look at regularly, they can perform really well at times, and the CAC, for instance, is showing that right now. So another one we just want to touch on is the JPN 225. Now, we all know that so we have seen some, the yen issues that have been going on, but it has been rallying quite nicely. We did see a move back up to that 28, close to that 28,379 area, and this is after a really nice higher low that started this all off. So you can see that original rally, we came down, and then we can see that nice higher low, and then off it went. So yeah, definitely some really good movements continue to be seen on some of the other indexes. Now we'll get on to some of the major ones. So the US indexes on Friday had a quiet session, but they did put on more gains. So we saw 0.1% added on the Dow, 0.92% added on the S&P 500, and the Nasdaq added 1.88%. So the tech recovery continues. Definitely that tech component would have been helping the S&P, as we can see utility and those key top 30 stocks didn't have the best of sessions on Friday. And just looking at the that NDX 100 here, we can see that we're now trading above this resistance level that we were discussing last week, and that's a real good positive. So buyers are continuing to push above that 11,600 point, and we want to see if they can continue to push on this week. Now, some of the Fed comments that came out were good. It was good to hear from the Fed, actually, because we all saw what happened with that CPI data last week, and we are seeing some comments from the Fed's that levels of inflation, the US policy rate is not particularly high, and the market seems to have gotten way out in front over one CPI report. So they're interesting comments, but we also did see this morning comments saying that if things do continue, that there may be a slowdown in policy, which could set off further buying on risk markets. So I think the next Fed minutes or the next Fed meeting will be quite an important one if things do continue to show that CPI may have hit a peak, but I don't want to call a peak just yet. So we just want to see some more data just to sort of give that some more credibility before we really start to call that. But definitely there are good signs. So that CPI data was really a good sign. Not such a good sign if you're a USD buyer, but definitely a good sign if you are looking to get back onto risk assets and see them continue to pick up. So currencies this morning, we're seeing some gains to the yen, and a few some weaker moves to the USD at this stage in the day. So we did have another strong session on Friday. So the dollar at the moment, we saw a bit of a pullback, another strong move lower, but we have seen a bit of a pullback this morning with a gap higher. Again, we just want to see if we do get a new rally, if we get a lower high and another move lower. Looking at the dollar index at the moment, you can definitely start to say now that something is definitely going on, and that is definitely from the CPI data. So there's a lot of money long, and we had that nice distribution point. So I don't know if you've ever followed Sam Weinstein, but definitely that could be a stage 3, and this could be the beginning of a stage 4, which is a decline. So here we have a classic stage 2. So we want to see if that, we get one more, we want to see the next rally, if it does turn into a lower high, and then if we do see a break and a push lower, just really confirming that this could be the start of a stage 4. But definitely momentum does look to be shifting on the dollar index at this stage. So one to watch, definitely that if we do see a pullback this week and what happens with that pullback, will be quite interesting to watch. So look, as we just noted, so we are seeing some we are seeing some gains, but look, it's pretty choppy at the moment still on a lot of the risk majors to the Japanese yen, and the dollar to the yen at this stage is higher, but we have seen a pretty sharp sell-off. So the dollar taking the brunt of that at the moment, and it is quite quite similar with the other dollar pairs. So we see the dollar CAD here. Oil's been particularly firm, so we saw another firm rally last Friday. But oil does worry me a touch. We haven't been able to break this point at 93, and we've seen that pullback, and we are seeing a lot of demand from really the 83.67 up to 85.57. But at this stage, oil looks to be starting to form a bit of a range. It's a bit choppy, and there's a bit of indecision there. So oil may need something to break the deadlock. Buyers don't look really comfortable above that 93 at this stage, and sellers definitely don't look comfortable below really this 83.67 area. So there's a lot of demand there. Now, one market that has been really pushing ahead lately is gold, and this was covered not only by Aaron Silver, who's one of our guest presenters. I did a very short piece on it as well, but he definitely called it a couple of weeks ago after the NFP data. And gold had a fantastic session last week, and we'll be looking to see what can happen now. I think again a lot's going to come down to the US dollar. We can see with this rally here, it's just a mirror image of the USD. One of the positives is this strong moves above that 1730 resistance. It's continuing to hold above that point. Questions are now, if we do have a pullback, will we see another rally? And if we do see a rally, will we finally see a new test or break of that 1800 area? And that is the August to that August high. So we want to see if we can see a new test or break of that August area, and that would be quite a strong result for gold buyers if that could eventuate. But first we'll need to see how buyers deal with a pullback if it does come. Now we just want to touch on some of the crypto markets before we get into the news, and I'm going to try and keep this report under 10 minutes today. So crypto markets had a pretty weak weekend. Now the FTX ordeal continues to play out. Now there's been reports of a possible hack. Assets have been moved to a cold wallet. There is reports of billions of dollars in transactions being how will I put this? A bit shady, and they're being investigated. So we hope, and this does also look like client funds. So we hope that is nothing illegal is going on there, and we hope that anyone that was caught up in FTX and do have client funds still stuck there get some of their money back, because it's a really horrible situation to be involved in. If just being an investor. FTX, for instance, I'm not saying it's horrible what happened to them, but it's really the pain and the suffering is really involved with the people that had money there and were believed in the company and that were trying to just purchase cryptos and better their financial situation too. So we hope to see a positive result in that. Normally they don't, but they have filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection, so we'll have to see if that continues to play out. That looks like it's going to continue to have a bit of an impact on the market. So that will be playing out this week, and cryptos, they're pretty weak over the weekend, and we will just continue to see if we can see higher lows form and we can see some buying demand come back into the market if buyers can start to shake off that incident that we saw last week. So this week coming up, some things to keep an eye on. So we have the policy meeting minutes from the RBA on Tuesday, and we have the claim count change in the UK. Now the UK, some headlines saying that they're going to have to increase taxes to try and boost the economy. So the economy is still very weak in the UK, and that's some of the policies they may be looking at moving forward. So we also have US PPI on Wednesday and the Empire State Manufacturing Index. Australian price index is coming out, and we have the pound CPI. So that could be one to watch as well. It's seen as coming in as 10.5%, which is as higher than the last figure and a very, very high figure. So if that does come in at that point or higher, I assume there'll be more records broken for that. So also we have Canadian CPI coming out this week on Thursday, and we have US retail sales as well. So the policy report hearings as well coming out from the UK. So we'll see what the details in that will be, and Australian employment data will be coming on Thursday as well, and we also have the Fed Philly Manufacturing Index on Friday, and that wraps out the week. So not as busy as last week data-wise, but definitely a few things to keep an eye on. So we'll wrap it up here. We hope you have a fantastic week. We wish you the best of best of all with your trading, and until next week, we wish you all the best, and bye for now.